What's up, everyone? It's your host, Sid Sakai, and this is Marquee Memories, the show where we sit with your favorite artists to relive their top concert memories as fans. Today's guest is a multi-platinum Grammy-nominated hip-hop artist, producer, and entrepreneur. He is a true global icon, helping to launch some of the hottest superstars like Lady Gaga and T-Pain. Everyone, let's welcome Akon.
What's up?
What's up? Welcome to our studio here in Hollywood. You are quite the world traveler. What brings you to LA this time around?
Oh, man. Well, LA is like my second base here in the U.S. So I'm kind of coming back between LA and Atlanta. So I'm here pretty often, yeah.
Do you have home bases in both places, Atlanta and LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
So LA is more like my work base.
Work base.
Atlanta's like home base.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two different feels.
For sure. Two different.
Two different. Speaking of world traveling, I have to mention, I seen you at Akon this year, which was cool because about 9 years ago, you performed. This year, you were there as a fan,
right.
Celebrating the win for Senegal and on the field, in your roots. Like, tell me what that experience was like, just being there with your favorite players.
Man, that was just amazing because, these are all guys that we all came up together, right? So we just all split out to be who we are in different sectors, whether it's sports or entertainment. But yeah, with all the odds against us and for us to come through with that, man, listen, that reward I couldn't have got a better reward anywhere else in the world for that.
Like once in a lifetime experience.
I swear, yeah.
What did you guys do after?
Oh man, we just prayed and we stayed out the way. Morocco was not happy.
The streets were hot.
Man, super hot.
Shout out to Senegal.
Absolutely.
Do you go there pretty often?
Yeah, I'm there about 3-4 times a year. I'm there pretty often, yeah.
What's it like there?
It's unbelievable, man. It's beautiful. I mean, from the atmosphere to the food, just like the culture, the beautiful women, the weather. Yeah, it's lit.
I love that.
Yeah.
You have an upcoming tour with N.W.A.
That's my dog.
Yeah, and it's at the end of this month, correct?
Yeah. It starts on the 23rd, actually, in Dublin. And then we're going to roll it all through Europe, Canada, and then end it off here in the U.S.
Nice. What do you look forward to most going on a worldwide tour?
I mean, the performance aspect of it is actually the highlight. Like when you create records in the studio and then you actually get to perform for the fans, it's like a different reality altogether. Because that's when you realize, okay, if you really created something special. You know what I mean? It's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to perform it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But these are all classic records that we kind of performed everywhere in the world. But this makes it special because me and N.W.A. are actually collaborating on this tour. And it's one of them things where, again, we came up together. And this is the first time that we actually share the stage. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, we might catch each other. Or I might just leave right before he showed up. Or as I'm showing up, he's just leaving. You know what I mean? But this is a time that now we can curate our hit records, put them together, and just kind of give it to the fans raw.
Yeah, you guys have so many bangers, hit after hit. I'm excited. I will be there, by the way.
What's up. Come on, dude.
Should your fans be expecting any special surprises or guests?
Well, you know how shows are. It's always going to be some surprises here and there.
Okay.
But I wouldn't tell you to come expecting anything. Just come prepared for whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Just come.
Period.
There you go. Pull up.
There it is.
I love that. And you also have an album coming out as well, right?
Yeah, the album's dropping on the 24th. It's going to be the day after the first show of the tour. So yeah, we're going to be, this album, it's more of an international album. I'm really, really excited about it. It's called Akon's Beautiful Day. So it's like really just the sum up of my whole life in one album, but just celebratory. It's going to be crazy.
How long did it take the album to come together?
Oh, man, you know me. I do records in 2 weeks.
We're not on a 10-year span.
Lock it down. All right, let's go. The album's done.
2 weeks, okay. And it's a hit, okay? I love that.
No, I'm just joking. But these are all records that just kind of curated as time went on. And I just feel like this was the perfect selections of songs for this timeline, for sure. Yeah.
Do you have features on your album?
This album, not really. Most of the songs are all based around within our in-house team. Nice. Some of the new artists that I got coming out, just it's all it's just I'm trying to keep the base really just limited, only because I'm featured on everybody's albums. So my albums, I like it to be more of the Akon experience, to be honest.
Yeah. We need that. We need the Akon experience and the Locked Up and everything, Yeah.
But the next album that's coming, Iconic album, now that one, it's going to be a lot more features because it's going to be all the iconic figures that I'm tied into going to be tied in on that album.
You mentioned that it's an international-based album. What makes it more, or just elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so you're going to get a piece of everything. Hip-hop, R&B, Afro house, Latin, reggaeton. Like, it's a mixture of all of that. Like, it's a turn-up album for sure. Yeah.
I actually just discovered Afro House when I was in Spain.
Oh, really?
Over the summer last year. Yeah, I was in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Ibiza. And Ibiza. Yeah, it was a vibe. It was a vibe. And I came back and I'm like putting everybody on. So I'm super excited. I'm
dope.
Also Cuban, so I'm looking forward to
the Okay, that is.
Yeah. We're international over here.
I love that.
Yeah. So let's hop into your memory, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. First one, N.W.A, St. Louis Arena, 1989.
Yeah. N.W.A is St. Louis, 1989. That was my first ever concert that I've ever went to. N.W.A was like the most disruptive group on the planet at that time. You had all, like, the government trying to ban them. They was burning their CDs outside the arena. Like, they was just like the voice of the most dysfunctional organization musically on the planet, right? Yeah. But you related to them because everybody felt like an outcast, right? And they said everything they wanted to say freely and didn't get in trouble for it. Yeah. And I was like, I got to go to their show. I want to see what this is like. And bro, I get out there and I'm super young. I get a ticket. I'm sitting in the fam and then Eazy-E walks out and just starts shooting in the sky. Boo, 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 boo. And I was like, the crowd just starts running because they didn't know if that was real bullets. Like, we didn't even know what blanks was at that time. But when I tell you, they started running, and then the bomb went out, the lights went out, and he said, fuck the police. I was like, my God. All the cops came to the front stage and everything else like that. So people didn't know if that was actually real.
I was going to ask that.
Or if it was staged. But the moment all the cops came on stage and the crowd started seeing, they started looking like, because we started running at first, but then when we saw the cops, it was like a sense of safety. But at the same time, you also wanted to know what was going to happen. Are they going to arrest these guys or whatever? So by the time everybody turned around and saw them cops and the beat dropped and fuck the police came on, when I tell you that place erupted, I was like, yo, I'm going to be a rapper.
Right. That sounds insane.
No, it was insane.
So they were part of the stage?
Yeah, it was all a part of the props. But then, funny enough, after the show, they actually did get locked up, from what I heard.
Like right after?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man.
I got to go back to do my research, but I think they did get locked up. Because they weren't supposed to originally speak. Yeah, y'all got the data. Y'all can check. Y'all can check. But it was crazy.
Nice. Who were you with?
It was just me and my homeboy.
Okay.
Yeah, just me and my homeboy. And we both kind of like, we weren't supposed to be there, like, to be honest, but we kind of snuck out and went to the show.
What do you mean by that?
My mom and pop ain't want me going to no rap concerts.
Okay, yeah.
And his mom and pops definitely didn't want him going to no rap concerts.
Yeah.
But I had more freedom because my mom and pops was always traveling. So they weren't even in town when I went.
I was going to say, so how did you get out? How did you go? You was like, I just went.
Till this day, this interview probably going to be how they found out I went, but he, on the other hand, got a big old whooping.
Oh.
He didn't care. He was like, it's worth it. He's worth it.
Right. So what made you become a fan of N.W.A? Like, when did you start listening to their music?
I think it was more so about just understanding what they were dealing with at that time and the environment that I was living in. It kind of was something that I could relate to. Yeah. Because I was like raised in East St. Louis, where at that time it was so bad the cops went on strike for like 30 days. That's how bad it was in East St. Louis, right? And then I couldn't even go to school in East St. Louis because the district there was just so bad. So we ended up having to take the bus, and they call it the county, but I was going to school in Westgate, and,
Yeah.
So I was further down. So every day we'd take the bus, go to school, and then come back. But it's just that environment. It was just the weirdest thing because as much as people might have thought that it was a bad influence for us, it actually was therapy in a way. Because a lot of things that was being said in that record was things that you could actually like visually see. So they were almost like narrating what was actually happening that we actually visually saw. But if you never was in a part of that environment, you would think that they were kind of spreading or somehow glorifying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But knowing that it was actually happening, existing, it didn't mean anything to us. So it didn't trigger us to go do anything bad. It was just reminding us what was happening around us. So in so many ways, it almost kind of kept us kind of like calm and didn't go do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, oh shit, we're not the only ones dealing with this. You know what I mean? So let's go, what's the solution?
Right.
So it brought us in that mind state versus promoting us to go actually do something crazy.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very familiar. I mean, my mom's actually from St. Louis, Brooklyn, St. Louis. Though.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you Brooklyn is.
Yeah, she out in the county.
Yeah. So I know a little, my cousins,
crazy.
they out there, but they kind of went through the same thing, maneuvering through East St. Louis as well. And that music being the outlet for them to,
right.
you know, like just express themselves or just relate to, like you were talking about. And them going against the grain is really just them fighting for themselves. So we just do it in a different way, more culturally.
Yeah,
and
more culturally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's great. So what did you do after the show? I mean, after that, did you guys go home, you know?
Oh, man, we were just part of everything else. Like, it was a big riot outside. Nobody wanted to go home.
Were you in the middle, Akon?
Like, nobody wanted to go home. Everybody was just out there just chilling. Everybody was heckling and hollering at the police. Like, I felt so bad for the police around that time because they was so, man, these poor guys was literally just trying to keep organization, and we were just horrible, like throwing bottles at them.
Oh, no.
It was bad.
Oh, no. So how you felt so exhilarated in that show, have you incorporated that into your own performances and how fans receive you at your shows?
Yeah, it's like those kind of moments actually make you really think about how you're going to come out to the show, what your introduction is going to be like, what's those memorable moments that those fans can take home with them. So we think about all that when we're putting our shows together. Mm-hmm. And it all comes from experiences from watching other artists that you admire. You know what I mean? And these kind of things. So yeah, all these little moments, man, they all things that I probably picked up vicariously just dealing with it as a fan, not even realizing I'm probably incorporating things that I might have saw or inspired me through someone else's shows. But I always figured out whatever worked for me is where I always locked myself into. Yeah.
I love that. Have you gotten to meet them? Easy?
No, I never got a chance to meet Eazy, unfortunately. I met Ice Cube once or twice. Okay. But we never like locked in and connected because it was always on the move and the go. Dre is the only one that I got a actually chance to meet. Okay. And me and him are locked in. We're pretty tight.
Is that a full circle moment for you, like starting as a fan? And
it was, but not from an N.W.A. perspective.
Okay.
You know, with Dre, it was a little different because I'm a producer as well. So I kind of admired like his beats and admired his production, you know, so he was always something that I looked up to from a producer perspective. Like, man, you know, just being able to create a whole new genre that kind of just inspired a whole generation was crazy to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to your next memory.
Yeah.
Beyoncé World Music Awards, Monaco, 2008.
Beyoncé, the World Music Awards in Monaco, 2008. It was like, because that was the first time that I actually physically seen her live, right? Like you see performance experiences and you see, you know, clips and videos, but to actually see her live, and then it was an intimate setting because it wasn't more than 1,000 people in the room. Like it was set up like diner style. Like everybody was set up in one table with your plates and everything else. So she was performing for a real tense audience. Everybody upscale. I mean, we're in Monaco. Like you got all these royalties and high, you know, network individuals, and she just fucking turned that shit out. I was like, yo, this bitch is a beast. I was like, God damn.
She is a beast.
She is a boy. And when she getting it, she looking at you like, yeah, come get some.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, she is by far one of the most amazing performers that I've seen in a long, long, long time.
Nice. Where were you in the audience? I know it's...
I was right there. Like, my table was right in front of her.
Right in front of her.
So I'm looking dead at her. Like,
right. Eye contact. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she gave it.
What did she wear? Do you remember?
I was too mesmerized. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
You're like, I was looking at other things.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah.
Do you remember what you wore?
Me, I was wearing a suit.
He's wearing a suit.
I don't remember what color, though.
Okay. Was that your first time seeing her? Have you seen her after that?
I seen her again in Atlanta, in the big arena. Okay. You know, when she came out on her tour with everybody, you know, all the girls wore their cowboy hats and everything like that. So I took my kids to go see her. But, I mean, the impact was just as big, just on a bigger scale. Monaco just meant more because it was just so intimate and it felt like she was performing for me. I'm just saying.
Like, I got a personal experience.
Yeah, like that one, the world ain't gonna get this one. Like, yeah, it was one of those.
Did she seem catered to you? I mean, it might as well at that point.
Right.
You know.
Nah, she's just an amazing performer, bro. Like, yeah, she's the best in the world, without a question.
What did you take away from that performance as an artist?
Well, as an artist, it inspired me, you know, to get like, because, you know, I have my own relationship with my artists, like, because I have to touch the fans. Like, I have to be partying with them. So it kind of made me think about how are my fans, like, you can say, impacted when I'm performing, right? So it actually raised more questions than anything, because now I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, I want to actually see what that is. But, you know, we always had the most amazing, high-end, high-energy, electrifying shows. So I'm almost hoping that my fans got the same experience I got when I watched it, for sure.
Yeah. Have you performed for a crowd in that, like, capacity?
Yeah, like, unfortunately, we do a lot of small, intimate, you know, it's not my favorite, because I want to be able to jump in the crowd from the top speaker.
Yeah.
You know,
You're trying to be
you know,
lit.
like, I can't quite do that in that environment, you know. So
You're more contained.
But I do a lot of weddings where, you know, I get that, you know. But for the most part, you know, yeah. Me personally, I prefer, like, the larger the crowd, the better for me, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like both are really good. I mean, speaking from a fan perspective, because I've had an intimate setting where, like, I did J. Cole's All in a Dream tour, and it was at the Wiltern, but I mean, now he does arenas and stuff. The show was literally $1, but I think for me, like, connecting with that artist in that capacity will be forever remembered.
See,
so
that's amazing.
Yeah, so that's good that you do weddings and
I do
know,
all of that.
Yeah, for sure. So where were you in your career when you saw Beyonce at the World Music Awards?
I was probably, I would want to say, damn near at my peak, to be honest. Like, if I wasn't, I was on my way there, because that was around the time where I had no space, no time, always on the planes, constant shows, constant, you know, appearances, records on every station, on every radio station. I'm like, I got tired of hearing myself at that point. You know what I mean? So she was actually a relief for me, because I could actually get out of my moment and just be a fan. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why that time was so memorable for me.
Yeah, for sure. Do you enjoy having that aspect of just putting your career to this, or like your job to the side, and just sitting back and being a fan?
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Wow.
Like, I'm in a lot of concerts and nobody never know. Like, I'll be in the crowd with the fans, but they would never know. Like, literally, I'll be in there. They'd be like, yo, you ain't gonna security? No, idiot, because then they gonna know it's me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I literally be in the crowd watching shows, because I'm a fan of music and performance naturally. So oftentimes I'll bring the kids, we just cool, I got my little hat on, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
They be like, is that Akon? No, that's impossible. He won't be out here with no security. It's not him. Like, so no one never really knows. Some may suspect, and every once in a while you get somebody that really knows, and you just kind of pull them to the side, catch a selfie, and continue with the show. But for the most part, yeah, I'm a real fan. I like to be a part of those things.
Do you mind when people come up to you when you're just a fan in the?
Oh no, I love it. Okay. No, I love it. I would prefer they come up to me and not come up to me.
Really? You're like, hey.
When they ain't come up to you no more, you're gonna be like, oh,
this is that peak.
You don't want to be that guy.
So what's your relationship with Beyonce now? I mean, in her music.
I still love her music. Like, I'm a huge, I would say, more of a fan of her performance, because oftentimes, like, I wouldn't download her album, but I would go watch her perform. And then seeing the performance make me want to listen to the records.
Absolutely.
Not because I don't want to. It just, I don't be having the time because I'm so busy. So I don't have the time to stop and listen to music all day. But when I have time to go to a concert, then that experience follows me there and leaves. So I'm listening to the music when I get there, then I'll see her perform it, then I'm leaving reminiscing on the performance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of them things where it's like, but she's one of the few people that I actually follow to, like, capture what she got going on a live basis, for sure.
You mentioned what you do before. I was literally going to ask, do you listen to the album, like the latest album, before, like, preparing for a show? Or do you listen to all their hits before? Like, how do you prepare going to the show?
It depends on the tour and what the tour is bringing, right? So I listen to the music that's based on that tour.
Okay.
Because otherwise I get lost. Or I'll fall back in love with those older records just to go to the performance or to the show and she's not performing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of manage my expectations. I gotta ride with what she popping off of. And then the songs that I possibly didn't like when I first heard them, after seeing her perform them, all of a sudden I love the records, right? So that, I mean, she's a true champion when it comes to that. Like, she sells that shit.
Yeah. Then that goes with also, like, just listening to an album twice. Like, the first time you're like, second time you're like, hold on, this is a banger.
Yeah,
you know?
because now you kind of dissecting it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think a performance helps to actually help you realize what that record is and the feel of what it should be. Because oftentimes you might be in a different mood than the song is supposed to put you in, right?
Yeah.
So your mood and the song don't correlate. But then when you see the performance and you see the mood that it's supposed to be in, you'll kind of adapt. So by the time you hear it again the second time, you kind of get it.
Yeah, you grasp that story.
Yeah.
And then like kind of that artist got through to you and what they're trying to portray.
Absolutely.
Okay. Should we move on to our next memory?
Let's do it.
David Guetta,
the Atlantis, Dubai, 2016. So David Guetta was just one of them things where he's one of the most proudest things that I can say that I was attached to, right? So I was in Dubai and I didn't even know he was performing that day. Like I had no idea. And I was staying at the Atlantis. And then I'm on the elevator and I see, the poster said David Guetta tonight, grand opening. And I'm like, what? David Scott, that's my dog. And we had just did this record, Sexy Bitch, right? He had no idea I was there. I had no idea he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So after midnight, I'm looking out my window. The whole beachfront is jam-packed. All I hear is Then David comes on. And he's starting off with one of my favorite records that he had. Like, it's just like When the Love Is Gone. Like, the record was so big at the time. And I was like, yo, I got to go out there and just go rock with him. Because, at that time, you're a celebrity. You don't want to, go out there and start creating commotion while he's on his set. Like, you just want to be respectful, right? And I was like, I got to go out there, man. I got to go out there. He got to see me. We got to rock. And soon as I get out there, you go through the security and he looks back and he sees me. He's like, ah. And he's like, wait. So at that moment now, I'm not knowing what he's about to do. He's right in the middle of his set. He got the crowd going super crazy. And he puts on Sexy Bitch. And he's like, bro, come on, get over here. And I'm like, shit, fuck it. And when I went out there to do that record with him, when I tell you Dubai was like
insane.
Insane. That was like, man. That was like, we had the most fun, funnest time that day. And I just stayed on stage with him the whole time until the set was over. And then we just partied after. But yeah, it was like, that was the time when I really didn't know that EDM DJs pull that many people. Like I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
That DJs pulled that many people out. Like it was so many people. I was like, how many, like what? On a beach, like 40, 50,000 people? I'm like, this is insane. You know what I mean?
Gosh.
Like I was like, wow. It was a different level of respect for DJs at that point.
Do they have curfew there? I'm just curious.
At that time, not for Atlantis, but Dubai is like the party city in the Middle East. So you could party till the daylight come up. There's no curfew when it comes to partying in Dubai, unless you're doing it in a residential area. Then there's a curfew at you. You can only party but a certain time, then you got to shut everything down so people can sleep. But if you're in a party zone or in a hotel zone or areas where there's zone for parties and festivals, it's all night, like literally all night.
Nice.
Yeah.
So were you guys out all night?
We was out all night.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so it was at Atlantis on the beach. You guys are having like this crazy massive concert. What was that like compared to anything else as far as like an arena venue?
And it doesn't even you can't even compare it.
Yeah.
Like, because as far as your eyes can see, you see people, right? To the point where you have to have speakers and screens every 50 yards just so the people in the back can see what's going on up in the front, right? So it's like, it was just different. Like, I was like, wow. It was a different whole nother motivation.
Yeah, for sure. Have you performed on the beach? I mean, obviously you're with him. Have you done it again since then?
Yeah, since then, that's when I started doing a lot more festivals. Because even with festivals, like I would get called for festivals and stuff like that. And, it just wasn't the same. And like, I was like, nah, I don't want to kind of do those yet. I want to wait. After experiencing it with David, I said, yo, book for every festival that call us, we're on it. Like we're getting on every festival. Because I didn't understand like most times, like the closest thing that came to it was like the big old radio shows where, the radio stations would like do their big, annual concerts, whatever. Like that felt the closest to it. But this had no affiliation. It was like pure culture. Yeah. So it was a different level of reaction, feel, like everything. So the festivals became like my top priority after that. I said, I'm jumping on every festival I'm called for.
And so do you still enjoy doing festivals
now?
Now? Nice,
Hell yeah.
Would you prefer a festival versus a a concert and stuff? Yeah,
I do now.
for sure.
Yeah. A festival is just different because it's like it feels like there's no rules.
Yeah.
Like it's literally no rules. Like
yeah.
But it is rules, obviously. But it just feels like people are a lot more freer. They're more open. And then the idea that you're outdoors and you get this freedom is not a building that's pumping constant air conditioning.
Yeah.
Like you can it seemed like the wind is also moving with the music.
Yeah.
Like it's just a different level of it's a feeling.
It's like free range.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
100%.
and then I mean, I work festivals and stuff like that. I go to festivals as fans.
Right.
I feel more free in a sense. It's like I discover other artists, and sometimes I like them more than what I thought I came for. I'm like, hold on, who is this? Thank you.
You're right.
I need to be at your show after this. You know, like so. I really,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's free, like you said.
Yeah.
No judgment too, because some people at concerts, you dress up to, you know, you wearing heels. Like you're not wearing heels. I'm not wearing heels.
At a festival, you can be you. Like you can really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you go to festivals like just as a fan too?
Yeah, when I can, 100%.
Yeah.
And even if I'm performing at a festival, I'm the type of person to be there early, party with the people.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We gotta go back. We gotta get ready for the show.
Or like backstage.
Yeah, because the beautiful what I love about festivals, like most people always wearing these masks.
Yeah.
So the dust. So when I'm out there, I'm like wearing my little mask, so you don't even know it's me. So it's like it's so perfect.
Yeah. No, the dust is really bad.
The dust. That's the only thing.
Man, I be
that's
like,
the only thing.
And I have really bad allergies, so I be like, can't take a Benadryl.
That's the only down. Yeah, that dust.
Yeah.
Especially when everybody jumping up and down.
Yes. Yeah.
That dust is no joke.
Are you in the back? Do you prefer to be in the back of the crowd or in the front? Like
me, I like to watch from the mixing board.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I like because I want to see the crowd, the audience, the lights, the production, the LEDs. Like I need to see it all.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, those are really great stories.
No, that's what's up.
Okay. Let's get into, I mean, I know you have a very busy schedule coming up. You going on tour? Do you have any other shows that you're going to as a fan?
As a fan, I kind of like a lot of the older school performers. Like it's a certain level of quality that comes with their concerts and shows. Maybe because they were all brought up under the artist development era, where you can see like the organization, the timing, the hits, all that is so in sync. You know what I mean? Like, and you know they rehearse for like days and weeks before the show, whereas our generation, we like 3 hours of rehearsal, we good, nigga. Just put me on the tour. You know what I'm saying? we good. Like we'll be singing with our vocals on top of the song. Like we just chilling because it's a vibe for us. You know what I mean? Where it was them, it was survival. And the competition level was just so high that everybody had to bring it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was just a certain level of respect that you had to put into the live performances. And I kind of want to see that come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your memories with me today. I enjoyed every one of them. Maybe we'll have you back after your tour. We'll see.
No, you will have me back after
Okay,
this
there
tour.
we go. We're
so
going
we
to
give you those memories.
Exactly.